Hey friends, how we doing today? This is Chris Diamond here, and I'm with a good friend and an interesting individual. Could you tell us your name, sir?
Yeah, my name's Dennis Dean, and I'm from California, and I came down here to go to the villages to see where the action is down in Florida, and I heard a lot about it.
Is there a lot of action down here, you think?
Well, not so good, not California.
Not like,
Not
would
like
you say you were from Palm Springs,
Palm
California?
Springs, yeah. It's a money area out there,
Yeah.
We don't have pickup trucks.
Yeah. How do you feel it's different, like the villages from Palm Springs, California?
The village that's a one of a kind.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that. I mean, nobody can believe it. You can't describe it to anybody. They got to see it.
Right, yeah.
Believe it. And they come down here and they spend it 2 or 3 days, and they go home and sell their house and move in here.
Right, yeah. You lead an interesting life. I know you've done a lot of things. Can you share with the viewers some of the things you've done over the years, like from your early beginnings up to where you're at now?
Oh yeah, sure. I left Indiana because I think I had a speeding ticket or two, and they were going to take my license. I said, I'm out of here.
Now, what year was that?
That was 1959.
59, wow.
Early 59. And then about May, I took off and left Indiana and got my license back and drove out to Denver by myself in a 59 Chevy with no air conditioning, no radio. Long drive, by myself.
Wow.
And landed in Denver. Moved into a mansion with 12 women.
12 women?
Yeah.
Wow.
For $30 a day, I could live in a mansion. Like
Gee.
Hugh Hefner. That was my dream, to be a Hugh Hefner. So I did that, and then I met a couple of guys there. They lived up there. There was 3 or 4 guys who lived there, besides the 12 women. And the old lady couldn't afford to pay the taxes on this mansion, so she rent out the rooms, and that helped her financially.
Wow.
So,
Now, did you like Denver? Besides the 12 women, was that, did you have a good time there?
yeah, Denver was, you see, in Indiana, we had hot rods like California, and when I got to Denver, there was no hot rods. These were people from Nebraska and Kansas, they didn't know.
More farm-type people?
They didn't seem to get with it. And, we had drive-ins there where you cruise around, but there was no hot rods.
Wow.
I did find a 32 Ford, and I bought it for $600 and drove it 3 months and sold it for $600.
Wow. So you think you might have introduced that scene to Denver at that time, or no?
No, they're kind of slow at catching on there because these people were just young kids coming into Denver to go to school. They were going to trade schools and
Right.
colleges. There were 5 colleges in Denver. So it was a great place, and so then after I got back from the Army, at first I opened up a coffee house with beatniks and rock and roll music, and did that for a year, and then I had to go to the service.
What year was the coffee shop?
I opened it up in January of 1960.
1960,
Yeah, so
wow.
I was still 21 because I turned 21 January 4th.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty good, and I did that with about probably $500 is all
Wow.
it cost me to set that up,
That's amazing.
because it was an after-hours bottle club, and I could live in the basement and work construction in the daytime and run at night.
Right, yeah.
Beds in the basement.
Jeez,
So-
that's incredible. It's incredible.
So that was the life, and that's how I met the Mafia. And they put a jukebox in the place, and they said, "Kid, we like your style. We're going to put you in business one day." So I hung on to these guys' shirt tails while I was in the Army, and when I got back, I started promoting singles parties, and keg parties, and set up rooming houses for guys, like fraternity houses for working blue-collar guys like me.
Yeah.
And then I had a keg party every Saturday night, all you could drink for $1.
Gee, I mean,
So that's how
we
I
need
started.
something like that today. you
Yeah,
know?
we do, yeah. So that was how I started that. And then those guys from the vending machine, they would get me jobs bartending because they knew everybody in town.
Right, yeah.
So they would send me to these jobs. Well, I was like a kid, I was 20-some years old, and I looked like a 16-year-old.
Wow.
And I'm working in a place with, rough guys, Indians and
Yeah.
iron workers. And
Right, yeah.
all that shit.
Yeah, you've,
So that was a trip.
I can imagine. you know,
Yeah.
that,
So then they got me, somehow I got a job with Disney. Then Disney had a big bowling alley with 100 lanes of bowling and an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
now, was that in Denver?
Denver,
Yeah.
Some celebrities built this, and then they couldn't make any money, I guess, so Disney bought it for a write-off.
Hmm.
So they had a fine dining place on the front of the business that didn't make sense. Fine dining and bowling doesn't go together.
Right.
So they had fine dining, and it was just a square box room, and there was booths and tables, no really classy atmosphere. And the thing wasn't making any money, and so I was the bartender there, and then training a guy, an alcoholic guy, was training me to be a bartender, and he drank all the profit.
Jeez.
At night, he'd be drunk every night.
Now, since we got short time on the
Yeah.
video, let's advance ahead. How you got to Palm Springs and
Okay.
everything from there.
Yeah.
How that came
So
about.
then, you know, after I got out of the nightclub business, I got married for 4 years, and then I had a party house for 4 years, 5 years. So then the economy went bad in 81, so I sold the house because everything was dead. And I went back to Denver and I bought a strip joint from one of my partners and for $30,000, and turned it into a blues club and booked Buddy Guy and all those big name guys.
Wow, big name entertainment.
Yeah. So then after that ran out, see, Denver was slow about getting with the recession, you know? So I had 5 years before the recession brought it to Denver.
Right.
So I made it in 5 years, and then I couldn't give that place away.
So you're saying Denver's a little different than the rest of the country, I mean, as far as the
Well,
people and the economy.
Yeah,
and
it seems like they're slow to catch on, but when they catch on, you can't get rid of them.
Is that right?
I've seen that happen. And so I was just way ahead of, I had like 12 competitors that had the same kind of a deal I had,
Yeah.
mom and pop deals. But these guys didn't know how to book the entertainment, and so I put in a band every night. I had a different band every night of the week, and
Yeah.
it worked.
Now, what guided you towards Palm Springs, California?
So then after I got the strip joint, it sold, I went back to California, to the desert, and I built a enterprise rent-a-cars out of a gas station.
Wow.
And then I liked the area, so I decided to stay and go in business there. And then I, you know, set up a party house there, and like a bachelor pad, and did that, and had a good time doing that. And I had an Al Capone speakeasy for
Wow.
catering, wealthy women's dog parties and all that stuff.
Wow, that's incredible.
And that was a trip.
Jeez, you've really lived a dream. I mean, these were just ideas that came off the top of your head. you know?
I'm a creative thinker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really like thinking outside the box and doing this stuff.
Was you just thinking that ways to make money, or was just you had dreams and ideas you wanted to do, and
Yeah.
or did it both tie in together?
Well, it
what?
ties together. You
Yeah.
want to have fun and you want to make some money,
Right. Yeah.
and you want people to be happy.
Right.
So it's a win-win for everybody.
Sounds like you made a lot of people happy there in Denver.
I
huh?
did, yeah, the hippies.
Yeah. Now, what was the Palm Springs scene like? Was it a
So it was pretty high class, you know. Everybody was well dressed,
yeah?
but the bars didn't really know what they were doing out there, and they had 20 bars trying to reach the young crowd. They had 20 bands, and all they did was rotate those bands, and nobody ever packed the house.
Right.
And I just looked back and I said, something's wrong here.
Right.
Yeah.
They never had a select group that they liked.
Well, they didn't know how to do it, you know. There
Yeah.
was one good band that I liked there. Then there was a newspaper where I get started, and they told you where all the action was, and those people started on the shoestring, and
Right.
they're still in business today.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, you were friends with a lot of celebrities out there too, wasn't you? I
Yeah.
remember we talked earlier about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I met a lot of people in the business, and actors, and movie actresses, and Kirk Douglas I met one night at a bar.
Who's the most interesting character you met out there, just off the top of your head?
Well, see, I met President Ford when I did a job at his house.
Wow.
Barry Manilow, I did a job, but he wasn't home. And let's see. So I met a gal that was an actress, and she was married to the producer of The Untouchables.
Wow.
And so she was a gal that I picked up in the bar. She was, and so she wouldn't tell me her age, naturally, you know. So after I slept over one night, I just went out to the kitchen to go pee, and stopped by and picked up her purse and looked in her wallet and found out how old she was.
Gee,
So,
did that shock you? Or?
yeah, so she was 20 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
So that was a trip. Well, then she was not, she didn't have any self-esteem. She'd say, well, if we're going together in a month from now, we'll do this or that. I thought, what the heck?
Yeah.
So then she was clumsy, and she was real awkward.
Yeah.
And so I said, this is enough of that.
Yeah.
So then I never saw her again. She put all my belongings out by the front gate at the security gate, and I had to pick up my stuff.
I've heard of that happening before.
Yeah, I didn't see her.
But I
never
will
saw
not
her.
admit to it. I will not admit to it, you know.
Yeah,
Okay, well, we're starting to run out of time. Can
Yeah.
we
yeah.
just talk a little bit about, what your plans are? I know you were recently in a movie here at the
Oh,
Village.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell just for real quick on
Yeah.
that, what that's about?
So the movie is about the Village people having a good time, and there's 4 of us that are really the actors in the movie. with our stories, there's the widow that lost her husband, and then there's the guy that gets busted with the drugs, then cocaine and the marijuana.
Now, what'd you play in the?
So I was the hustler from California that goes from pool to pool
Wow.
and interviews the women and try to move in with them.
Can you share with the viewers what your nickname is? They'll get a kick out of this.
Hot Nuts Hogan?
Hot Nuts Hogan, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I met him, and he's the most interesting person to talk to. You know, he knows a lot of people, and he's a van dweller like myself. And can you share a little bit about living in the van? How, I mean, personally myself, I love it. I wouldn't, if you gave me a house on the hill, I wouldn't take it because I got freedom. How do you feel about it?
I've never met anybody like you. Because we're alike in that way because I've had about 12 vans probably because I'd drive until they wore out.
Right.
Just throw them away and get another one. So this is probably about my 12th van. And then, you know, I was in construction out there, so I would use it for construction. It was like having a limousine tool truck, and you could sleep in it if you had to. So,
Yeah, right.
So I was moving in and out from different women and having a good old time.
Oh yeah,
So-
you're living the dream. It amazes me though, the money you got. You could have any of these homes and everything, but you choose to live in that van. You're like me. I mean, we just enjoy the adventure, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, there's nothing like it. I mean, you know,
it's paid for. It's
and maybe
paid
this year we're gonna get together and do some shows, and
I think so.
I'm gonna put you on the keyboard, maybe on conga drums,
drums,
and we're gonna have some fun. You know?
Yeah, I got the brushes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
So anyway,
but anyway,
that's what we're going to do.
yeah, I appreciate you taking time out and sharing this today and with our viewers and everything on Chris Diamond Travels.
Yeah.
But do you have any comment or anything you want to leave before we go to them or
So
anything?
let's just look forward to having a good time and making people laugh and have fun at these RV resorts and whatever.
Oh yeah, that's a great. People's great, and
Sure.
we love sunny Florida, and we're going to make it happen as long as we can. So this is Chris Diamond along with Hot Nuts Hogan here in Bellevue, Florida, just north of the Villages a little bit, and we'll see you again. Peace out, everybody.
Thank you.